see what's going here. Bravo, Kendrick. Bravo to Kendrick Lamar. So what up? I have not been on live in a long time. So just wanted to tap in and chop it up a little bit about the recent or the brand new diss record by Kendrick Lamar, 616 in LA, 616 in LA. Let me first start off by saying this record is the most calculated and methodical record I've ever seen by an artist. I didn't say it was the best lyrical record, had the best beat, the most impact, but the psyche behind this record, the way it was structured, the way it was calculated, the way it was put together, the layers of this record is the most calculated and methodical that I've ever seen by an artist. And I'm going to get into that a little more, but I want to backtrack just a tad bit. So let me start off with the battle. I want to first say that the one thing that I'm happy about this whole Drake and Kendrick battle now is that since Kendrick has responded, everybody prior to Euphoria that was in on, jumping in and dissing Drake is irrelevant now. When I mean by irrelevant, they don't matter in this battle anymore. So Future doesn't matter. Ross doesn't matter. Even though his lives are funny and comical, they don't matter. Metro doesn't matter. And for sure, Kanye doesn't matter. And even now, the Chris Brown and Quavo battle doesn't matter. Since Kendrick responded, that just shows you how impactful he is that the Drake Royal Rumble, once he came to the ring and everybody else just pretty much got tossed over the rope. So now they don't even count. And I'm glad because, again, this started out as one of the worst battles that I had ever seen. But now that we're here, we can get to the proceedings this evening with Drake versus Kendrick. Now, everybody was excited for Drake when he dropped push-ups. And Kendrick took his time to respond. And, of course, the memes and certain lines and people, were happy about it. But even though that was a record supposed to be aimed at everybody, but mostly Kendrick, the one thing I did say, and I still stand on this, is that it wasn't a terrible record. It wasn't whack, but it was very mid-level. It wasn't anything to me that just opened my mind and was like, oh shit. It was just like, okay, we got a few jokes in there. But the hardest bar that was supposed to be in a song directed towards Kendrick and others was directed at Metro. And I posted that. So to me, if you're dissing me and your bar, the hardest bar in your diss record for me is for somebody else, I won that round. Because you didn't come with nothing that really hurt me. You can say, what's a prince to a son? And, all of that's it's really not that big of a deal. And then he followed up with Taylor Made, which had the AI verse of Tupac and Snoop. And a lot of people didn't like that. The only problem that I had with the AI record is Drake had an AI record leak before he dropped Push-Ups. And then Kendrick had an AI record that leaked before he dropped his response. So to have AI records leak and then you go use I just thought that was whack. And I'm not going to get into why I don't like AI. That's a different conversation. But the fact is that the same thing that, is trying to hurt you, you're trying to you're trying to weaponize for yourself. And that just don't make sense to me. Like AI is really not a helpful tool for you as an artist or any artist. So then, of course, we got the cease and desist from, Pac's estate, and then the record had to be taken down. Okay. And of course, he came with the memes begging for Kendrick to come out and play and this, that, and the third. And well, goddamn, Kendrick came out to play. He came with Euphoria, which was an amazing record. That's it, OVO. Right, Don. OVO over. That's funny. But he came out with an amazing record with Euphoria. And let me say this, and I really want to make this live also to talk to the casual listeners and these new age casual listeners. There's nothing wrong with being a casual listener. There's nothing wrong, because sometimes you just need music as escapism. Like, you just want to hear good beats and good lyrics, and then that's it. But if you are a casual listener of music where you don't dissect bars and try to figure out, what certain bars mean, and are there metaphors and similes, double entendres, triple entendres, you should not be trying to participate and critique records that require you to delve into those type of lyrics. Because all you can really tell us is the beat hard, and that's it. Because you're not a lyrics person. And again, if you are a casual listener, that is fine. But you cannot participate in a real hip hop conversation where we are talking about really intricate, complex lyrics and lyricism. Okay? And these new age casual listeners, it's almost worse for them, because they really just talk they just talk the talk. Like talking for talking's sake. Like, some of them don't even have a concept of even what a double entendre is. So you can't even, they'll say, oh, that's whack, just because you said the word double entendre. So you can't even pay attention to that. So again, if you are a casual listener, great. That's nothing wrong, but don't try to get in the conversation of complexity and intricacy, because we not with the surface level cookie cutter shit. Okay. Now, he dropped Euphoria, amazing record. There's so many layers to that, and it just tore the internet apart. And then Drake comes back with a little, troll video, and it was funny, but it's like Drake at that point, it's like we're past the point of just trolling to be fun and being funny, It's like you've got to actually come with some bars now, because it's cool for you to be funny. But you're not playing with somebody. You playing with somebody that's not playing. Okay. So once he did that, now Kendrick today, May 3rd, dropped one of, like I said, the most calculated record I've ever heard. What's happening, brother? All right, see, we got both my brothers on here. Yeah, my man, my bro, Rick Carpenter, what's happening, bro? And my other big brother, Eric Holmes. Thanks for tuning in, big bro. So he dropped this record, 6/16 in LA. And this record is just, this told me that Kendrick is a real cerebral assassin. And the reason why I say that is because the psyche behind this record, what it took to actually put this record together, required a lot of thought, a lot of processing, and a lot of detail. So let's just start with the whole 616 title. 616 refers to Tupac's birthday, June 16th, 1971. 616 is also it's also the date of Canada's Father's Day. Make a note of that. Now, I know some people were saying with the OJ thing, but at some fact finding, China, that didn't pertain to OJ. Now, there's a meme out there as an Instagram post with the black glove that does pertain to OJ. So, and also what's interesting about this record is that they actually premiered the record in Cali at 8:24 a.m. this morning. Significance of 8:24 is Kendrick Lamar's favorite basketball player, the late and great Kobe Bryant. He wore number 8. He wore number 24. It's just genius. You get like the genius. Like, who would even think of that? All right. The bars. And I didn't even want to, and I just want to say this when we're breaking down this record. When he went in, he wasn't even trying to do a kill shot. This record is more of like a big homie sonning his little homie, or a father having to discipline his son. This is more of jacking you up by your collar and then smacking you upside the back of your head and, you know, checking you saying, yo, you know, I'm your big homie. You know that I'm the big dog in this. You need to stay in your place and watch your mouth. That's how Kendrick is kind of treating Drake with this record. Like, I'm not trying to really hurt you, but I want you to know, like, you know I'm not to be played with. So if you're going to play with me, you know that I'm going to be playing for keeps with this. When I say playing for keeps, like I'm going to go hard at you. Okay. Now, when I started to do my other research and I looked at it, and the production was by Soundwave and Jack Antonoff. And the interesting part about that is that Jack Antonoff is Taylor Swift's producer. So literally, he made a record tailor-made with Pac in reference directly for Drake. I want y'all to really understand that. Drake had the diss record tailor-made with AI, Snoop, and Pac, and had to be taken down. Kendrick replies back with a diss record produced by Taylor Swift, producer, and he had Pac's birthday as the title in LA, directed at Drake. So he basically said, I'm going to really show you how to make a tailor-made record. So again, it's just like the calculation behind this. This is like Art of War this is Art of War tactics with the 48 Laws of Power movements. You know who you playing with, but I don't think you realize who you playing with. And, you know, there's so many, again, layers and bars. This is one of those records you got to listen to 2-3 times because you're going to come away with something new. And then the kicker of it all, even on top of all of that, and I got to shout out my man Carell Kennedy. I don't know if he on here, but he sent me, he posted something, and this just blew my mind. I was just like, yeah, this nigga Kendrick is a different type of animal. The record that he sampled for 616 in LA, the guitar sample in the record is actually Drake's deceased uncle, Teenie Hodges, who played that for Al Green. So Kendrick literally went and got the sample of Drake's deceased uncle on a diss record to diss him, which is tailor-made with Pac towards Drake. So to put that all together, he literally was trying to give him he was literally trying to mentally kill him. He's literally mentally breaking him down. Like, do you really know who you playing with? I always this is how I look at Kendrick and Drake. Like Drake is like if you watch old, I don't know if anybody watches old Japanese, movies like the show Shogun that just went off. Drake is like that Japanese assassin of the land that everybody's afraid of. And Kendrick is like the retired assassin that lives in the hill that you only see coming out, every 20, 30 years. And, he might have, a few jewels to drop, but then he goes back into hiding and you just don't hear from him. But Drake is out here slaying everything. But one day that one assassin feels like he can challenge the actual master, not knowing that the master never stopped studying. See, while Drake was out here doing what he's doing and selling records and partying and having a good time with Sexy Red and working with Yachty and this one and that one, Kendrick's been in his war room in his house studying all the tactics and moves of Drake. And that's where I think Drake had a misstep, is that he thought because he wasn't outside that he wasn't paying attention. But see, it's always, if you look back at those houses on the hill, those monks, those assassins got a telescope and binoculars that can see 150 yards away, and they're watching your every move and they're making a note of it. So when they're making a note of it, they know when you step into their realm, they're already 10, 15 steps ahead of you. So, and I want this to be clear because I know a lot of people think like, oh, I hate on Drake and this, that. Let me tell y'all something. I have always been a fan of Drake. I have always, I can't show my music catalog, but I've got all of Drake's albums. I support Drake. I like Drake when he does the Controllers, 4-Time, Lord Knows, and, One Dance and Western Road Flows. I just think when it comes to the realm of battling and competition, I think he's way out of his league. And the reason why I can say that is because of this 616 record in LA. The way Kendrick approached this, so methodical and calculated, it really makes you have to now go back and look at back to back like, that was really child's play that you did. And I'm going to tell you why it's child's play. See, when Drake went at Meek Mill, and this is not a disrespect or diss towards Meek. Meek, as we see publicly, is a very emotional, impulsive person. So he moves off emotion and impulse in everything he does, whether it's, dissing somebody, being mad, being happy, he just does stuff. But Drake still is a calculated, methodical thinker too. So really, when you look at it, Drake, he methodically and calculated his moves against somebody who's not methodical, calculated, and doesn't really think at all. So somebody that moves off emotions versus somebody that moves off of intuition, instinct, and intellect is always going to win. Because you're moving just to move. I'm moving with intentions. There's a method to my madness. So when I now look at back to back, it's really just somebody that just took advantage of a situation that was just really going to be a walk in the park for him. Think about it like this. At the age Mike Tyson is, right? He's got to be 50 plus. If you saw Mike Tyson walk into a Popeyes and there's 20-something people, right? And let's say nobody got a gun or a knife or anybody, it's just hand-to-hand combat. How many people in there really think they're going to beat Mike Tyson in a fight? Probably less than 0%. Because we know what Mike is capable of. Now, you might got them hands, but you ain't got them hands for Mike. So Meek might have had, the little the background with the whole battling thing, but he wasn't prepared to go against somebody like Drake because he's just too impulsive. And now Drake is seeing that as methodical and calculated he is, he's definitely not compatible and methodical for somebody like a Kendrick. Because what Kendrick does is he's been studying line by line, day by day, every single move that you make. And it's a notation of it. And now that it's a notation of it, you got to be prepared to go way beyond the distance to see if you can actually compete with that. Because he's been studying you. See, you've been wanting this combat, but I don't think you've really been studying him. Because if you had been studying for him, you wouldn't come with these elementary school type of disses talking about a size 7 shoe. That holds no weight. So, I'm going to say this. It's not over for Drake, but Drake, the perception of Drake in as far as battle rap, it's been changed, but now it's looking like he's just good enough. He's smart enough to take advantage or capitalize on a situation that's beneficial for him. Because we clearly know we saw what happened with Pusha T, and now what we're seeing happen with Kendrick. He's way out of his league in lyrical combat, lyrical warfare. So the only thing Drake can do at this time, and I got to shout out my man TK Pirelli, we talked about this. Drake's going to have to bar up, and he's going to have to come with something so significant that he's got to, the only way he really can move the conversation as far as saying, all right, Kendrick, you might have to respond to this one. He would have to go like Ice Cube jacking for beats type of style. Like he would have to go get Kendrick's best songs that he bodied, like get a Humble, a Control, a Blackberry, a Mortal Man, or this. He would have to get all of those beats and literally bar him to death with some real lyrics, because you're not going to be able to get no dirt on him. And I hear, a lot of people talking about, Kendrick he's trying to get dirt on Kendrick. Like I heard Whack 100 talking about, Drake was calling around trying to get info on Kendrick. You're not going to get no info on Kendrick. All right. He's never claimed to be a gangster. He never was a wannabe. He's always been who he's with. He's been with his high school sweetheart. Now they're married and he have children. And the neighborhood he's from is supposed to be, not even supposed to be, but is a respected neighborhood. And clearly that hood in the West Coast is riding behind Kendrick 10 toes down. So it ain't going to be good for Drake to try to find this dirt, because he's not going to find this dirt. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the only way Drake can move the conversation as far as saying, all right, Kendrick, now you might have to come back with some more bars. You're going to have to do like jacking for beats, get the hardest beats and bar him to death to where we like, damn. But I'm going to be honest, I just don't think that Drake has anything that has layers to it the way Kendrick does that's going to make us feel like, yeah, he got something right here. So I'm just glad that this happened, because like I said in the beginning, when the OVO Royal Rumble started, it was one of the worst times in hip hop. Yeah, it was whack. It was just a bunch of flexing and trolling. And now we got a real battle. So it ain't over for Drake, but it's looking bad for Drake right now. It really is looking bad. And people can say that it's not the hardest bar in Drake's diss records for Kendrick is for Metro. Drake's AI diss record got taken down and then got flipped another way to show you how you really make a tailor-made record. So we'll see, but I just want to say again, I'm giving a round of applause. Bravo, Kendrick. Bravo to Kendrick Lamar. So I'm going to go ahead, look at a couple of my messages, and then I'm going to tap out with y'all. Okay, the rap game's so watered down with these whack ass lyrics. They don't understand the artistry and the culture behind the music, especially. And there's the lyricism part. Definitely, because people don't. And I kind of understand it because this era just isn't built like that. They just not built like that, but they don't really get into lyricism. Let's see. All right. Big Bro Red. Big Bro Eric. Okay. Let me see. Okay, my man Terrell hopped on here. Hold on, what happened? This thing be moving so fast, I can't even see some of y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Why none of these dudes never challenged Conway? we know why, Terrell. Like, that's a whole different, we know that's a whole different ball game. I mean, no disrespect, because I like the dude, but we seen what happened with Freddie Gibbs when he went at Benny. So if he goes at Conway, it might end up even worse. You feel? So, I don't know. Spirit, thanks for tuning in. And I know you feeling this record, because I know we done chopped it up. So, Mocha Brownstone, thanks for tapping in. Let's see. The hood his wife is from is thorough out there in Cali. Drake has nothing on K-Dot. Yeah, I agree, because ain't nobody, you're not going to find nothing on Kendrick. So he's just going to end up at a dead end. So, like I said, bravo to Kendrick Lamar, 616. I'm not going to, jump all the way out there and give a complete, status of where this record is, because it just dropped today. But I will say this about it. If you go back and you look at calculated diss records, ain't nothing more methodical than this. Because the psyche it took to put all of this together, it takes a different type of mind. So thanks y'all for tapping in. As this goes on, if it gets more interesting, I'll tap back in with y'all. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy y'all Friday, and I'll chat with y'all later. Peace.